What is up, you guys? Coinbase is up 6.5% once again. And in this video, we're going to go over where I think Coinbase can continue to run, because we've been calling out Coin and Mara for a very, very long time now, planning these reversals. And I've been out of both of these positions for a while, but a lot of you guys over on Twitter and X, which you guys should be following me on, have been asking me a lot about this. So let's go through and talk about this. Let's go over why I was bullish and where I think this is going to probably end up going. This is going to be a 1 hour chart, and we are going to be using a Smart Money Concepts Pine Wave indicator, which is a premium indicator for the private members of our Discord. You do not need to use these indicators in order to be profitable, but if you do want to get access to them, it's going to be the second link in the description. But what we're really just looking for here, guys, is trend. If you are somebody who is new to trading and you're really trying to figure out how you can lock in consistent profits, I will give you legit the simplest thing that I could ever teach you. And it is just that you need to be focusing your time and your energy to trading any type of strategy or any type of system that trades with the trend. And the reason for this is because if you're trading, as cliche and simple as it sounds, but people just don't do it, but if you're trading with the trend, your chances of losing drastically drop. And so what we're going to use here is you can use any SMA, you can use any market sentiment indicator, anything to dictate the trend. And so you can see on the 1 hour chart, before we had this massive rally on coin, that we had a breakout back in June of 2023, followed by a consolidation. We had a lot of sideways movement, so we're not trading any of this because it's all sideways movement. We were simply waiting for either the break above $90 to trade the upside, or we were waiting for the break below $70 to trade the downside, because I'm not attached emotionally to any direction in the market at all. We're watching these pivot levels back then, and then we're playing this potential upside. And what we're going to actually do is just, let's do this as a replay so that we can go through this real time, and I can give you guys an understanding of, number one, why I would have sold way too early, but number two, how we could have stayed in these trades a lot longer. So as you can see here, we have a good amount of selling pressure up around 90 and 97, but the chances of coin probably moving back up to 90 at this instance are obviously high. Now we know that this is going to break out, but we're not just going to be like, oh look, it broke above 90, now I'm buying this. The truth is, guys, I would not have just been buying this breakout. Time that we have a potential breakout, a potential change of character or change of direction, we need to confirm that by an actual close and hold over that level. So maybe here I would start with a small position. Let's say a full trade in this instance would be 3,000 shares. I might start with 1,000 shares because we did push up over this resistance level of $90, which we said was very important. We did get a change of character, which is what we were looking for. And now we will just add into the position as it pulls back down to $90 using maybe 86 or 87 as our potential stop loss. So as we see this pullback, we're going to buy back in, and then we have one more potential average down. We'll see if we get it. Probably not going to get it. And then boom, we get this push up. This push up to this $100 level could have been a potential take profit, or we could have sold half of our position, as this is a liquidity level, which will be a very strong resistance. And it's also where we have our pivot level of our previous week high. So essentially, this is just a strong level for us to get through. But you can see that the bulls still have the overall trend. And so for me to be worried about this position at this moment really does me no good, because we're still in this uptrend. We're seeing the big money's buying into this. We're seeing on our oscillators that we're very, very bullish. And so at this point, I would probably be closing at least half of my position and watching for some potential weakness. Luckily, I didn't close all of my position because we are still running. Now you have to understand, just because something is overbought or overvalued in the short term does not mean that it needs to pull back. And this is why I'm saying that, using my eyes as a trader for 9 years, I would be taking profits on this. We have deviated so far away from our moving averages that the chances of this snapping back are pretty high, but we still want to be in this position. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to close another half of my trade. So now we started with 2,000 shares. Now we're down to 500 shares. And what's going to happen is, since we're still in this trend, as coin starts to pull back, just like a rubber band, we're going to start adding into the trade, and then we're going to start loosening or taking profits as we start to deviate again. So now, guys, we don't really have to worry at all. We can just let this run. because we're in with so little capital that even if this were to retrace all the way back down to where we entered, we still would be up a sizable amount. You can see that we have about $21,000 in this trade and about $35,000 on the sidelines that is already taken out for profits. So as we're trading horizontally, you can see that we have two pivot levels, one here at 150 and another one here at 130. The same way as we played before with these pivot levels before, we will continue to hold our longs if we break through this level, and if we break through this support, we're going to cover our long position. As you can see, we're still continuing to push up, still continuing to rally, and I probably at this point would have covered my position entirely. I'm not even going to lie to you. For me to say that I would have continued to hold to see if we could test 190 would have been a complete lie. But you can see too, looking back now, moving its way up into higher highs with big money behind it, the chances of this rallying was very high. Which leads us now to where do I think coin is going to be going at this moment? Looking at the daily chart, we are really up there. We're pushing up around $200, and we've traded before up at about $400. You also have to understand that fundamentally, I do think that this company was undervalued, and I do think as well that we have a lot of hype with Bitcoin ripping right now, with a potential ETF, which is major for a lot of crypto companies, especially mining companies and brokers like Coinbase. So I do think that we could see a potential continued rally up to $200, but each and every single tick to the upside, the risk versus reward becomes worse and worse. So in my opinion, I'm waiting for a pullback down to $150 to go long, and I will not be shorting this anytime soon. Thanks for all the support, guys. If you want to trade alongside me every single day, check out the second link in the description to join my private academy. And if you just want to join our Discord community, there's over 10,000 members. It's only $3 a month. The link is in the description. It's the first one. I'll see you guys over there. Peace.